You're losing, not to him, but to the version of yourself you never became. And the bill is coming due now, in every averted glance, in every conversation that goes nowhere, in every mature woman who sees you as invisible while gravitating towards men who aren't even available. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you why mature women are only interested in committed men, and more importantly, how you can project the same magnetism they possess without needing a ring on your finger. But be warned, if you close this window now, you'll waste another 6 months repeating the same mistakes, blaming the universe while the answer has always been within your reach. You believe the problem is availability, that women want the forbidden, the challenge, the adrenaline rush of competing for someone they can't have. Wrong, completely wrong. This popular belief is the poison that has been killing your chances for years. The truth nobody told you is this: mature women are not attracted to the status of being committed. They are attracted to the high-value signals that a committed man naturally projects, signals that you, being single, should be emitting with even more intensity, but aren't. The committed man has already gone through the attraction auction. Someone has already bid on him, validated his worth, placed the stamp of approval. And now the entire market looks at him differently. Not because he's better than you, but because he communicates differently. He signals scarcity. He exhibits social proof. He radiates an abundance frame. While you, available and trying to show interest, look like a clearance item nobody wanted to buy. The formula is simple and brutal. The less you need validation, the more it comes to you. The more you signal that your life is full without that specific woman, the more she wants to be a part of it. This is the real mechanic that governs the attraction auction, and you've been ignoring it for years. Let me dissect the 7 high-value signals that a committed man effortlessly projects, and that you need to incorporate now. First, pre-selection signaling. When a man is in a relationship, he carries the validation of another woman like a seal of quality. It's the social equivalent of a product with positive reviews. The married coworker everyone respects, whose opinion they ask for, who has that calm presence. He didn't achieve that by being married. He attracted marriage because he already had those qualities. You see the effect and confuse it with the cause. Second, indirect social proof. This is the perception that others value this man. He has loyal friends, he's the gravitational center of the group, people seek his company. When a mature woman observes this, she reads between the lines. This man has something others recognize and want to be around. She doesn't want to be left out. Third, abundance frame. This is the mindset that changes everything. A committed man isn't hunting. He's not in scarcity mode. If he declines an invitation, it's because he has something better to do, and that something might simply be taking care of himself. A woman senses this from miles away. Fourth, leadership and decisiveness. He takes initiative. He plans the date, sets the tone, doesn't keep asking what you want to do. He already knows and invites you to participate. This is the behavior of someone with clarity and purpose. Fifth, clear boundaries and self-respect. He's not available 24 hours a day. He has commitments, priorities, and values his time. If you ask for something last minute that disrupts his plans, the answer is no, without guilt, without excessive justification. Sixth, intentionality and purpose. Everything he does has direction. He pursues a project with passion, has defined goals, moves with conviction. Mature women don't want aimless men. They want men with a destination. Seventh, detachment from outcome. He doesn't base his happiness on getting a phone number. He approaches with genuine interest, but if it doesn't work out, his life remains full and interesting. This absence of desperation is the most powerful value signal there is. Do you notice the pattern? None of these signals depend on having a girlfriend. All of them depend on how you position yourself in the world, how you communicate your value, how you structure your life. Let me show you how this works in practice. Jung is 32, a software engineer, earns well, owns his apartment. He's the complete package on paper. But Jung is always available. He replies to messages in seconds, cancels his plans to fit her schedule, shows that he has nothing more important going on in his life. When he goes out with a woman, he asks what she wants to do, where she wants to go, what she'd like to eat. He thinks he's being kind, but he's signaling low value. He's saying, "My life is so empty that I can mold it entirely around you." The women Jung dates quickly lose interest, and he doesn't understand why. He sees the same women gravitating towards his committed colleagues and gets frustrated. The invisible cost for Jung is the repetition of the pattern, month after month, year after year, eroding his self-esteem and reinforcing the belief that he's not enough. Now observe Carlos. 40 years old, entrepreneur, divorced 2 years ago. Carlos spent the first few months after his divorce in hunting mode, trying to prove to himself that he still had market value. Result? Frustration and superficial interactions. Then he shifted his focus. He decided to restructure his company, started dedicating more time to his children, resumed running and playing the guitar, which he had abandoned. He wasn't looking for anyone, he was building a life that made sense. And it was exactly during this period that mature women started appearing. At the market, at the gym, at networking events. They sensed something different in him. Carlos radiated purpose, stability, the frame of a man who doesn't need external validation to feel whole. He was too busy living well to worry about seeming interesting. And this, paradoxically, made him magnetic. Carlos's decision to prioritize his well-being created a gravitational field around him. Now, Pedro, 35 years old, university professor, intelligent, kind, always willing to help. Pedro is the guy who listens to her problems for hours, offers a shoulder, gives advice, does favors. And he's constantly friend-zoned. He sees the same women he admires become interested in more assertive, sometimes even arrogant, colleagues. Pedro doesn't understand. He's good. He's present. He's attentive. Why isn't that enough? Because Pedro communicates low value through excessive compliance. He doesn't set boundaries, doesn't show that he has a life outside that romantic interest, doesn't take initiative. He reacts, he waits, he hopes. And this makes him invisible on the attraction spectrum. The cost for Pedro is romantic invisibility and the growing bitterness of believing that being good doesn't work. 3 men, 3 realities. The difference isn't in genetics, money, or luck. It's in the communication of value. Have you noticed that you're making reactive mistakes that sabotage your chances? I'm going to name 6 of them now, and you'll recognize yourself in at least 3. Mistake number 1, directly competing with the committed man. You try to be funnier, more present, more available than him. This makes you seem desperate. The woman reads this as insecurity and low value. You're entering an auction, making frantic bids, while the other person is sitting comfortably, knowing they've already been chosen. Mistake number 2, complaining about the unfairness of the situation. You express frustration, talk about how women prefer men who don't deserve them, how unfair the world is. This victim mentality repels any mature woman looking for a man with a positive, proactive mindset. Mistake number 3, trying to artificially feign busyness. You pretend to be busy, take hours to reply to messages, even when your phone is in hand, invent commitments. Mature women detect inauthenticity. They have finely tuned social calibration. This strategy implodes in days. Mistake number 4, obsessively focusing on the woman who is interested in someone else. You waste mental and emotional energy on a situation you don't control, while real opportunities pass unnoticed beside you. You're putting all your chips on a single horse that isn't even running on your track. Mistake number 5, diminishing the committed man. You try to disqualify him to elevate yourself. You speak ill of him, point out flaws, suggest he's not so special. This demonstrates insecurity and a lack of class. A high-value man doesn't need to diminish others to shine. Mistake number 6, constantly seeking external validation. You depend on her approval to feel good. You check your phone every minute, interpret every message, analyze every silence. This needy behavior is the number 1 killer of attraction. The woman senses that you need her to exist, and this generates instinctive repulsion. Are you still with me? Because now comes the game-changing part, the action protocol. 5 operational steps that you implement starting today, not on Monday, not next month, today. Step 1. Invest in your personal purpose. Dedicate real time, not leftover time, to your passions, career, and growth. Create a life so interesting that dating is a bonus, not the main goal. This is the foundation of everything. A rich life is the greatest signal of value there is, and no attraction tactic replaces it. Step 2. Develop genuine social proof. Cultivate solid male and female friendships. Have an active social circle. Be the guy who invites people to events, who brings people together, who is sought after. The value others see in you acts as a beacon that attracts new people. Don't fake this. Build it genuinely. Step 3. Establish clear boundaries and communicate them. Define what is acceptable in your interactions and stand firm. If something disrupts your plans, say no. If someone disrespects you, signal it immediately. Men with boundaries are respected and perceived as having high personal value because they value themselves first. Step 4. Practice intentionality in your interactions. Know what you're looking for and communicate it with confidence. If you invite someone on a date, already have the plan. If you approach a woman, know what you want from that conversation. Clarity and direction are leadership qualities that attract because they eliminate ambiguity and insecurity. Step 5. Cultivate detachment from the outcome. Focus on the quality of the interaction and on being your best self without the need for a specific result. Approach with genuine interest, but understand that if she doesn't reciprocate, your life remains full. The absence of desperation is the cheat code of attraction because it communicates abundance at a subconscious level. You're at a crossroads now. You can continue believing that mature women are irrational enigmas attracted to the forbidden, or you can accept that you are in control of the narrative. The truth is, you have 2 options and 0 excuses. Option A. Ignore all of this. Go back to standard operating mode, remain too available, without boundaries, without clear purpose. Watching committed men receive the attention you want. In this option, 6 months from now, you'll be exactly where you are today. Or worse, more bitter, more frustrated, more convinced that the system is unfair. Option B. Decide now that you will develop and project the high-value signals that truly attract mature women. That you will build a life so interesting that people naturally gravitate towards you. That you will become the kind of man who has already gone through the attraction auction and knows his worth, even if no one has made a recent bid. This is the option that changes your reality in the next 48 to 72 hours, not in months, in days. Because when you start operating with intentionality, people feel the change immediately. Let me be crystal clear about what's at stake here. I'm not selling you manipulation. I'm not asking you to pretend to be someone else. I'm telling you to authentically develop the qualities that make a man attractive and communicate them effectively. The difference between you and the committed man who gets attention isn't the ring. It's the presence. He's not desperate because he has options, but you can have options without being in a relationship. You just need to act as if your life is valuable, because it is. The attraction auction doesn't reward those who beg for bids. It rewards those who present clear value and let the market decide. And value isn't about how much you have. It's about how much you communicate that you have through consistent actions, firm boundaries, defined purpose, and an absence of neediness. You might be thinking, this sounds like too much work. I just want to meet someone. I understand. But also understand that there are no sustainable shortcuts to genuine attraction. Every short-term tactic, every mind game, every manipulation eventually implodes and leaves you worse off than when you started. What I'm offering you isn't a hack. It's a fundamental recalibration of how you position yourself in the world. And yes, it requires effort. But this effort is an investment in yourself that pays dividends in all areas of life, not just romance. When you build real value, when you become the kind of man others respect and seek out, when you live with purpose and boundaries, you're not just attracting women, you're creating a better life. Another common resistance. So I need to get a girlfriend to attract others? No, you need to project the same signals that a healthy relationship validates. Self-sufficiency, purpose, boundaries, social proof. These signals exist regardless of your marital status. The committed man isn't attractive because he has a girlfriend. He has a girlfriend because he was already attractive. You're looking at the end of the story and thinking it's the beginning. Invert that logic. Become attractive first. The relationship is a consequence, not a cause. And if you're still stuck in the belief that it's unfair, that you're a good guy and women should recognize that, I need to be direct. Attraction isn't about fairness. It's about psychological dynamics and perceived value. You can be the best guy in the world in terms of character, but if you don't communicate value, if you don't set boundaries, if you're always available and without apparent purpose, you will be invisible on the attraction radar. And that's not a fault of women. It's your lack of understanding of how the game works. You don't have to like the rules to play well. You just need to understand them and use them to your advantage. Now, for the time-sensitive ultimatum. Every day you postpone this decision is a day the pattern repeats. You wake up, go to work, come home, get on the apps, send messages that go unanswered. See profiles of women you find interesting, but who don't see you the same way. You go to sleep frustrated and wake up to repeat the cycle. This is the cost of tomorrow when you don't act today. But if you implement one of the 5 steps of the protocol in the next few hours, if you identify a high-value signal you already possess but don't communicate, if you correct a reactive mistake you've been making, you break the cycle. And when you break the cycle, you open space for something new to enter. The decision you need to make now isn't about women. It's about you. It's about taking control of your attraction narrative. It's about stopping being a victim of circumstances and becoming the architect of your reality. Mature women aren't looking for perfect men. They are looking for men with clear value, defined purpose, firm boundaries, and the ability to lead their own lives. You can be that man. You already have the tools. Now you need to use them. So here's what I want you to do. Go to the comments now and share a personal experience where you notice this dynamic of attraction through value signals. It could be a situation where you were focused on something important and received unexpected attention. It could be when you set a boundary and noticed that respect increased. It could be observing another man who naturally attracts and identifying what value signal he projects. Write it down, because when you articulate what you've learned, you internalize the knowledge. And when you internalize, you act differently. And when you act differently, you get different results. That's how transformation happens. Not in theory, but in practice. Not someday, but now. Not for others, but for you. The attraction auction is happening right now. You're in it. The only question is, what value are you communicating?